Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to my channel again. In the last video, we did some binding to our user registration form using the user model class over here, which allowed us to set up some annotations to do some validations on the form fields that we require. Now, in this video, we're going to be working on testing to see if we can register the user within the system. Now, with that being said, there's one thing that I wanted to address in regards to that. Now, as you with Spring MVC, there's a lot of features, or actually, depending on how you set up your dependencies within your pom.xml, there's quite a number of features that you can get with Spring MVC. One of them is the Spring Boot data.jpa. Now, with the JPA API over here, it allows us to well, it gives us certain functionalities to work with the database, which actually makes it easier to work with the database. For example, I created a folder here called repository, and then I created an interface within that folder called user repository. So now with the with the Spring Data JPA, you get this particular class where you can create your own methods where you can write SQL queries, and then what you call it, and then and perform certain SQL statements um, without how can I put this? Well, it makes it easier to just write SQL statements and perform SQL queries with your database. So, for example, you also get another one which is a CRUD repository, if I'm not mistaken. And then yeah, you can basically do the exact same thing. Now, for example, if I were to show you, I created a method here. So within here, what we can do is something like this: auto wired, and then I can say I can call that interface user repository, and then you can just add it over there. And then within here, as you can see within the user repository class interface itself, we created a method here called find by username. So if you, for example, if I were to just take that user repository we just instantiated there, and then if you look there, there's quite a lot of methods that you get with the JPA repository. So with these methods, you can perform certain queries, and you know what you call it, pull certain records out of the database, and etc. So if you see there at the top, we have the one that we create, or the one that I created, find by username. So if I click that there, and then I can just add the username, what you call it, parameter over there, and then we can call this method to perform whatever SQL queries we need. So with this being done, like with us, what you call it, auto wiring this particular repository or user repository, it's, according to my understanding, it's supposed to just pull these credentials over here, and then through that it will be able to perform this particular SQL query, and get the, depending on whatever it is you're looking for, you will get your SQL records and so forth. Now, for some odd reason, when I tried it, it didn't want to work. I did attempt to build this particular application using this, what you call it, this API, but for some odd reason, I couldn't get it to work. So as a result, I ended up just going back towards doing things. I don't want to say the old way, but let me just say the least favorite way, which is using the old way of doing or working with JDBC. So yeah, that was, I just wanted to explain that a little bit before I get to do or before you see why I'm actually using the old way of working with the database. So with that being said, the first thing I need to do is delete this folder over here along with that interface. All right. So with that being said, I'm gonna now create my own. I'm gonna create a folder here called functions, and then within here, I'm gonna create a class called DB connection, or let me say DB config. All right. Now within here, this is where I'm gonna create. I'm gonna get my database credentials. So I'm gonna say private static final, and then username. Sorry about that. Will equal to, again, this user that I'm adding here. This is the user that I set up within my database. So you would use your own credentials. That's if you are following along with what I'm doing. And then here would be the password, which is going to be Jason123. And then I'll say password. Let me just name this like this: DB username and then DB password. And then the other thing that I'm going to add is the connection string. So private, actually, let me copy this again. What am I doing? Okay, so here within the connection string, I'm gonna write there JDBC. Actually, you know what? I think I can copy this here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I can actually. And then just paste it over there. Alright, so now I'm gonna create the connection class. And then I'll say public, it's gonna make it static there. It's connection. Okay, so first thing I'll do is connection, connect. I'm gonna set it to null initially, and then okay, and I'll say try. And okay, so within here, what I'll do is I'll return the connection over here, which will be connect. I think it's driver dot get connection, and then obviously we're gonna set up our connection string there, and obviously we'll get the username and then db password. And then obviously here we have to return the connect method over there. I actually made a mistake. That's what we need to return here. So obviously, if everything goes well over here, it'll definitely return this connection config over here. Otherwise, it will just return null here at the end. All right, so this is what I meant in terms of what you call it, in terms of doing it the old way, of setting up a DB connection and then running your query strings and so forth. So now the other thing that I need to do now within here is I'm gonna create a DAO layout or a package called DAO, and then within here I'll just say uh, application DAO. All right. So this is where I will be setting up all my SQL queries and so forth. Now, with that being said, the other thing that I need to do is I need to, within the create functions over here, in the functions folder, I need to create another class, which I'm going to call hash. Okay, so this is where I'm going to set up the methods for creating for hashing our passwords. So the first, by the way, so the first method I'll write is public static, and then string. Okay, then our parameter is going to be a string password. Then obviously we want to return okay, so to hash our password, there is a dependency that we added initially. Let me just get rid of this error over here. Okay, so there's a dependency we added within our pom.xml, which is this one over here, Spring Security Crypto. So now with this, we get access to another method, the bcrypt method, or the bcrypt functionality. So what I need to do within here is return, actually I'm actually mistaken over here. It's supposed to be bcrypt dot hash password. And so obviously we're going to put in the password, and then we get also a bcrypt functionality where we can generate a salt. Let me just create some comments there. Okay, so that's our method there. So like I said, you get this particular functionality here where you can, so we're going to use this method to take in whatever password we're getting from the user, and then we will run this particular bcrypt hashing algorithm over here, and then it'll give us a hashed value of our password. All right, so the other thing I need to create is, let me just think. Within the down layer, this is where we create our method to register the user. So I'm going to say public static, I think it's boolean, and then register user. And then obviously we're going to be taking in, just going to say return false here for now. And obviously we'll be taking in some parameters, which is going to be string, first name, string, last name, what else? I think it's also user type. And then also the password. All right, so I think that's all we need basically. It has to be the first name, last name, email, password, and user type. So obviously all these other fields we don't need for now. Yeah, that's correct. So let me see. All right, so now within here, I'm gonna create the connection, and then say connect. I'm gonna call it connect, and then set it to null initially. Okay. And then what else do we need? I don't think we need a result set in this one. So okay, so from here I need to create a try block. So um, right, and then within here I'll say try. I want to say exception e, and then just say e dot print stack trace. But then here at the end here, I'm just gonna say throws SQL exception. Okay, that's fine for now. So now I'm gonna so connect. We're gonna call that class that we created, which is gonna be db config dot get connection. And then I also forgot the SQL string there, so it's gonna be string. Yes. All right, I'm just gonna type out that SQL query there, just so that so that you don't need to watch me type that out. I'm just gonna pause the video for a second. All right, guys. So that's our insert statement over there. So we're gonna insert first name, last name, email, password, user type. All right. The other thing I need, or is within here, is need to prepare the statement, which is gonna be prepare, which is gonna be connect dot prepare statement, and then we're going to pass in our register user query over there. Right, then from there on, it's going to be statement dot set string, which is going to be the first parameter is going to be first name, and then I'm just going to copy this a couple of times. How many fields do we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so obviously the first one is first name, and then we're going to do the second one, which is going to be last name, email, user type. Let me just swap these around. I only swap them around because, as you can see, the way I set up the parameters there, it's first name, last name, email, password, user type. So I think it's safer that way. Alright, so those are our fields, and then from there we're gonna execute the query. And then we say int affected rows will equal to statement dot execute update. Alright, and then here then I'll say if one, then return true. Alright, so I think that's it for our statement there. Let me just edit this out here. The note here, I'll just say failed to register user. Okay, so as you can see, I think that's everything we need. Just let me double check here. Alright, so it's first name, last name, email, password, user type. Oh, actually, no, I'm lying. We also need the verification token there. So the last string will be and then verification token. Actually forgot about that. My apologies again there. Alright, and I think I also need to add it here. It's the exact same name, so I'll just do that. Alright, so yes, I forgot about this actually. When we register the user, we need to also set a verification token within our field there for validation. Alright, so I think that's it. That's all we need for our registration, what you call it, method. Okay. All right. So now the next thing we need to do is, let me just close up all of these what you call it, all these fields we don't need. So like I said again, guys, this is what I meant in terms of doing things the old way. In fact, I need to actually say finally, and then I'll say if uh, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's statement. Oh no, sorry. Connection connect not equal to null. Uh, I'll say connect. We need to close the connection there. The other thing I'll say is right. Yeah. So like I was saying earlier on, this is what I meant when I said doing things. I don't want to say the old way. Let me just say the least favorite way of working with the database when it comes to using the JDBC classes or the JDBC what you call it API. So like I said before, I couldn't get it to work, so I just stuck with doing it this way. So the other thing that I need, since we added this verification token here, we need to add I'm gonna add a class within here where we're gonna generate that token. So let's say new class, and then I'm gonna name it token. Right. So within here, I'm then gonna create, I'll create a method here. And, all right. So within here, I'll say public static string, and then I'll say uh, and then in here I'll say return. Sorry about that. I think it's you. Nope. What am I doing here? Equal to um, and then I'll say dot to string. And then there I'll just return random token string. Okay, so that's the method we're going to use to generate random token strings. Okay, I think that's all we need for that. And then what else? I think now we can proceed to registering the user. So I think I'm going to come in here. So right now, as you know, we already did our form validations and all that, and then if there are no errors, we can then proceed to register the user. Let me just all right. So register user. So if so within here, I'm gonna call that application DAO class, and then I'm gonna say register user. Then from there on, we need the um, first name, which is gonna be that, and then last name, and then which is gonna be email, and then what else? And the password, I think, and then user type, and then verification token. And in fact, I need to generate that before I do that. So here what I'll do is string verification token will equal to token dot uh, generate token, and then with that I can now take that and paste it over there. Okay, so if that's working fine, we can then now let me see, we can return this over here. That's going to give us the success message as well. And then the other thing is we can do that and just say add view dot add object, of which I'll say error, and then what I'll do is let me just name that register error. uh, I'll just say something went wrong, contact. Yes. Okay, so all right, so obviously here at the top we're checking if all the if all the required fields or all the requirements are being met, and then if not, obviously it will return here with all the errors that we need. And then if it works well, then obviously we come down here and then we what do you call it, we register the user. You know, the other thing that I needed to do here was actually check if the password they are inputting into the field are the same. So in fact, yeah, that's one last check. Check if passwords match. If let's say passwords equals uh, confirm password. So if it doesn't match, we're gonna redirect this user back to the I'll just copy that there and then say gonna change that to passwords do not match. Okay, so if the passwords do not match, we then redirect them back to the user registration form, what you call it, page, and then it'll notify them that their passwords do not match. So let me just put that there. All right, so otherwise, if everything goes well, we will then proceed to register the user and then redirect them back to the success page. I mean to the registration page with the success message. Okay, so I think we can test that now. Right, I'm gonna run the server and then I think that's it. Yeah, I'm gonna run the server. Oh no, actually I need to set up that error message. So here within the add user, I'm gonna copy the message we set up in the last video, which is this here. I'm gonna take that, paste it over there. Uh, I'm gonna copy the password, this hash. Where am I? I'm over here. Okay, I'll paste that there, and then I'm gonna change that to danger. All right, the other message we need, it's gonna be this one over here. We already got the success message, so we just need that one. So I'm gonna have to copy this message again. Copy that error message, and then where do I put it there? And also for the mismatch, the password mismatch, I need to put that over there. All right, so those are the three messages we need. I can then now test it out and see if everything is in order. Hopefully everything is in order. All right, so I'm gonna run the server. I'm gonna let it load up. I'm gonna pause the video for now, and then we'll be back once it's up. All right, so the server is up and running. Let's check now our application and see if we can register a user within the system. We go to add user. All right, so I'm just gonna create a demo user there. By the way, currently within our database, we don't have anything. We don't have any users. So let me just. All right, so we have an empty result set there. So the first user that I'm gonna create is an admin user. So I'm just gonna name him admin. I want to name it admin. I'll give him a support as what you call it, as the surname, and then I'll say admin at support.co.za, or should I say IT support? That's stupid. Let me just leave it. And then for now, I just want to test and see if our error message for passwords that do not match will appear or not. So I'll say put in some gibberish there, put in some gibberish there. Obviously, I'll say admin. All right, so at the very least, that we can now check and see that at least now our we can check and see if the passwords match or not. Now, as you can see, we didn't lose our data. That's due to the binding that we did with our user class. So at the very least, we still don't lose that as well. So now I'm gonna put in the correct password details. So I'm just gonna say password 23. I'll say password 23. What are you talking about? Just hold on. let me just see that. Oh, I see. I think I made a mistake here. I forgot to actually add an extra column there. Alright, apologies for that, guys. It was a mistake. I forgot to actually add that. So I'm just gonna run the server again. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, that too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then we also got verification token. Okay. I'm not gonna pause the video now. Let's just let it run. Okay. Just need to refresh this. Admin, and then admin. Okay. So we were able to add the user. Let's just see if there was any. Oh, flip. Oh, I forgot one thing. Okay, so our token, we got it, but I forgot to actually hash our password. Let me just delete that user. Okay, there's nothing there. Um, my apologies for that. I actually forgot to hash the password. So within the admin controller, what I need to do is hash password. Alright, so what I'll do is string password will equal to hash dot password hash, and then we're gonna obviously hash the password. Alright, so obviously we need to make sure that comes before any of these any of the fields here. So once everything is passed through, we can then hash the password, and then the one that we need to store is the hashed one, the hashed value, or the hashed version of it. All right, so I'm gonna run this again. I'm just gonna pause it quickly and then we'll check it out. Okay, the server is up. Let me just refresh this. All right, I'm gonna add admin again. Password 123, and obviously we're gonna create him as an admin user. So let's add him now. Okay, so he's added. Let's check it. Okay, so that's our hashed password over there. Let me just change this to so that we can view it better. All right, so as you can see, we now store the hashed value. I mean the hashed version of our password. Okay, so we can now add users into the system. We are checking for any. Sorry about that. We are checking for we are validating our form. We are checking if the passwords do match and all of that, and then if everything goes well, we generate our token along with hashing our password and then storing all of those values using our register user method. So okay, I think that's it for the video. I don't think there's anything else we need to do. Um, oh, by the way, I do know if you've seen the what you call it, if you've seen the demonstration video, um, there was a functionality that I implemented here where if the user is successfully registered, it sends a notification via email. Now, I didn't do this within this video. We will do that at a later stage. I just wanted to get the first user within the system, what you call it, within the system to be registered, which is our admin user. In the next video, we will be doing the login authentication, but before that, we will be adding another user to the system. This time around, we will add a user who is of a basic user type. And so we then need to verify whether or not we need to create a method, by the way, to check between the two user, the user that's logging in and seeing if they are of the user type admin or user, and then redirecting them based on the user type. So yeah, guys, that's it for this current video. Unfortunately, the video took longer than that I had anticipated, but yeah, man. I mean, there was quite a lot to do, but in any case, that's it for the video, guys. Again, for those of you who haven't done so already, please like and share and subscribe if you like what you've seen so far. And I will be seeing you guys within the next video. All right, cheers for now.